Well, we got our missing talent. You might have already seen me use it. Scaling issues is what we call it in the beta world, guys. We call it scaling issues. Good day, you wonderful people. We're at the last boss. Interesting. We'll jump in another dungeon after this. Welcome to the TDP. I hope you've had a tremendous weekend. I've just had a wonderful Sunday with my family. And of course, now it's time to sit down and play some games. Yeah! And I've been dying to get back here. Because... Oh, let's... The hexes appear to be below the floor. I predict a problem. I'm guessing why this dungeon is broken. I dinged, though. That's good news. This is janked beyond all belief. And everyone appears to have DC'd. Oh, excellent. Yeah, oh, it's my add-ons, I think. This is screwed. That's fine. Let's jump into another dungeon. Why not? We're in another dungeon. What I discovered, we actually saw the makings of this in the Bolster's video, is that the patch which brought about a huge amount of tank change, class changes, has in fact broken a lot of the dungeons for some reason. I don't know why. It's beta after all. Life will be that way. I'm getting hit. Let's heal up. Let's heal up, because that's not a great start to a tanking video. He's taking all the damage in the world, but, you know. Whoa! Look at the nameplates. Apparently there's a befouled thing over there. I don't know if you guys could tell. Either way, I've just done the tanking comparison video. So Blizzard saw fit, of course, to change the warrior. I did mention in that video that the... Protection Warrior was likely to get some changes. There was a talent missing. We now have that talent. Very exciting stuff. Was the damage in here broken? People are getting hammered. Whoa. Before we blame the healer, is the damage busted in here? I haven't done Underart. I have done 3 dungeons as the Prot Warrior, sort of part dungeons. But so far, come over here. Be a pal. Be a pal. Well, we get some sort of control going on here, because it looks to me like we're all getting battered. I'm actually wondering if it's shaman healers. I have had something like this happen recently, and it was down to a shaman healer. I wonder if shamans are a little weak after the changes or something like that, because I also did a dungeon with a priest that wasn't that bad. Maggot! I got the maggot. Don't worry, boys. I'm all over it. Let's see if he gets a little bit of, let's refresh battle shout. Let's see if he gets a grasp on things. Let's take a moment. Let's everyone take a breath. And breathe. Yeah, so I did put in the tanking list that warriors were the wildcard choice. Come on, we're going this way. And that was because they were missing talents, and they were being changed pretty regularly. So I think in the comparison, I actually say word for word. There's still stuff to happen here. Will it make them better? Will it make them worse? Who knows? So what did they do? Well, we got our missing talent. You might have already seen me use it, and it was Dragon Roar. Blood Elf Warriors, though, don't they look good? Oh, hello. That might be a reason for the damage intake if everyone else is spiking like that. Ooh, 228 MS. I did have 580 earlier. Good times. Yeah, Dragon Roar is what happened. They also removed Bolster. Now, some of you might recall that although the numbers, I'm not interested in the numbers. I try and make this point every video. Sometimes I'll forget, and then that'll spy a whole huge amount of comments. Is like, well, you know that Ignore Pain's not very good right now on the beta. The numbers don't interest me. Right now, we should be in the, we should realistically be in the balancing phase of the game right now, which is where they're trying to figure out exactly how much damage everything does. We're not there, for whatever reason. Is this thing bugged? Can I move it in any way? No, he's just gonna chill. Okay. Let's try and AoE this down, otherwise we're gonna be stuck in combat forever. Looks like revenge works on it. The numbers and stuff of all the characters and classes don't bother me at all right now. It's not what I'm interested in. We assume, the way I approach all testing is to check whether every talent setup is interesting, assuming it should play this way. Happens a lot on stream as well, is I'll be playing a talent setup, people are like, oh, why are you playing that talent setup? This one's way better at the moment. It's like, well, that's not the point. That could change tomorrow. When looking for a class, that's not what I look for. So, based on what we understood about the tank classes, I was interested to see where they were going to Prot Warrior, because I very much enjoyed the Prot Warrior. For the first time since pretty much Mists of Pandaria, I would say. Mists of Pandaria was when I turned my back on a Prot Warrior. Again, my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion. If you liked it, that doesn't mean you're an idiot. Right? That's not what it means. It's just that I didn't like it then, right? That's all I'm saying. And I was quite liking the BFA version because I saw potential. I saw spark. I saw Maham. You know, in the future, things like this could happen. We could set things up. I had to think about what I was doing. I quite liked it. It's all good. And I did play a Prot Warrior throughout Warlords of Draenor, for a lot of Warlords of Draenor, actually. Ooh, these hurt. Ooh, shield wall, last stand. Woo! 70,000 physical damage? God damn, son. Oh my god. Okay, so the damage in here has been upped a little bit. Intentionally or otherwise, I don't know. Scaling issues is what we call it in the beta world, guys. We call it scaling issues. Where things are scaling wrong. So, to see Dragon Roar be the sort of missing talent that Blizzard seemingly spent a long time considering and what can we fit into this tier and so on and so forth was a little disappointing, but it did sort of indicate what has happened here. It was a kind of precursor to what's going on. They also got rid of Bolster. It is gone. Yeah, Bolster is gone. So it has been BFA-arized. In terms of a lot of the stuff, you'll probably now be able to quickly determine that a lot of the stuff that I quite enjoyed about the Prot Warrior, that I talked about, the tank ranking system, is now gone. The rage management is back to kind of as it was, which is, it's not that much to think about at all. I have some theories as to why this has happened, and they are theories, but they're theories backed up with something and not wild speculation, as we don't really do that, like it or not. We don't tend to make stuff up. So, Bolster is gone. What did they replace it with? Well, it's still an ability. It's still a talent called Bolster. But what it is now, instead of an on-use ability that buffs your armor, it's actually a total passive. Last Dance cooldown is reduced, so it's kind of... obviously not... I'm not even going to say it. I was going to say it's like Vampiric Blood, but I'm sure some people are like, it doesn't do anything with like Vampiric Blood. But you get the idea. It's sort of reasonably powerful, on-demand cooldown. And it also additionally causes you to block all melee attacks. So it's quite powerful. Makes Last Stand much more interesting, I think. We seem to have got our fix on this dungeon now, which is nice. But what it does mean is our main active mitigation has once again returned to Ignore Pain and Shield Block. That's about it. Ooh, you're doing big damage. 8k burst. Nice. Like it. You keep that up, my man. I will tank it for you. Have no fears. So, yeah, we just have Ignore Pain and Bolster. Ignore Pain and Shield Block. So, what does that mean? Why has this happened? Well, it seems pretty apparent, and a lot of the guys I spoke to about this tend to agree. There's only one message we can receive here is Blizzard had an idea of... Ooh. Blizzard had an idea of what they wanted to do with the Prot Warrior. It hasn't worked. And... they've run out of time, essentially, to do anything else with it. Considering BFA is coming out pretty soon. And the basis of that is they've just basically returned it to a semi-Legion model. It's not identical to Legion. In fact, they've still got a lot of really cool things here that I want to talk about, instead of so people don't just think it's a whiny video. It's not. It does appear fully to be they've just run out of time. The game's coming and we're not quite ready yet. I mean, you don't hold on to a talent like Dragon Roar for months, literal months, right? It's not something that you're like, well, we're still debating this big Dragon Roar decision. There's that new Arcane Torrent coming in nicely, boys. People are slagging it off, but in BFA, it's pretty goddamn good. There's lots of stuff to be dispelled. There's lots and lots of powerful magical buffs to be dispelled. You might see it be reapplied here. This bone shield these guys gain is hefty. It's like a full HP bar of stuff. So, yeah, really cool ability still. Despite it not as good as it was, but still very useful. So first of all, what does this mean for the spec? If you like the Legion version of the Prot Warrior, it's got to go probably that way over the course of the expansion. That's the only potential I can see, is it'll become much quicker. Obviously, certainly as late game haste comes in, you won't see it particularly quickly. And then you'll have pretty much a straight Legion style Prot Warrior, unless they're deciding they've either decided, look, we're out of time right now, Legion BFA is coming. So put it back to what it was for Legion, essentially, with a couple of minor changes, which are still beneficial. Or they're looking to change it mid-expansion, or maybe they'll change it late expansion, something like that. That's what they're looking to do in my eyes. I mean, the evidence seems to point that way for sure. Now, what does it mean gameplay-wise? Well, it's definitely, if I was to do the ranking again, it would have definitely lost some spots, because it's pretty dull again. I mean, we only have two things. It's like, do you have enough rage to ignore pain? If so, use it, right? Generating shield block rages is only 35, I think, or 30. 30 is not difficult by any means. Destroy these mushrooms. Still do our tank jobs. Let's even get rid of these three. Come on here. There you go. And if not, just generate some rage. That's pretty much it. Oh, we got a cheeky upheaval there. When we get rid of this one, we should be in good shape. Nice. Oh, he just ran into it. What a bro. Nice. Real bro. Let's put Spell Reflect up for this. No stacks. Well done, team. A team of people who know how Spore Caller works. Nice. That's always great to see. Very happy. So yeah, it's way less fun. All the stuff that I really enjoyed in the ranking series, which was planning, making choices, managing your rage effectively for certain things, that's all gone now. Like, there's not really much of that. Why has it changed? Well, I was reading a lot of feedback because it was mixed. As I said, I mean, I was talking to Sleety about it. He was mocking me for liking the Prot Warrior. He's like, you like it? And I'm like, yeah, I don't like it. It's not like super amazing, but I can see some potential here, right? That's enough for me. If it's got some potential, I'm excited about that, sure. But a lot of the feedback I was reading on forums, I don't mean to trigger you guys, but this is out there, where people were finding it very, very difficult to do the rage management stuff, because they haven't had to really do that for a while. And it was too much for them. A lot of them were blaming it on the global cooldown. Which was bullshit. Like, I was seeing people like, with the global cooldown, it's very hard to manage, like, a Bolster ignore pain set. It's like, well, no, it's not. Bolster lasts 10 seconds, dude. You can set it up well before a major hit. Then you need to activate ignore pain, and shield blocks off the global cooldown. It's not that hard. Certainly with a boss timer, it's really not. It's kind of fun to do, and sure, you have to do some preparation for it, but let's not make out like this is some game-breaking difficulty. But there were a lot of people who were saying this isn't my jam. You know, this is a bit awkward to manage, blah, 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 blah. And they wanted it changed. I also think Blizzard... I'm not blaming people who are struggle at the game. I'm not saying that. I'm also saying Blizzard probably didn't want any tanks to have 3 readily available tanking mitigation cooldowns. They probably didn't want that. And the Prot Warrior, as I said, even though the numbers were obviously not finished, it felt very strong. Once you got that big ignore pain, bolster, and shield block going, it felt very strong. You felt rock solid, man. And that's a good feel. That's a really good feel for a tank. Whether they checked some scaling and found, yeah, this is going to spiral madly, this is going to spiral way out of control, then maybe that's where they're saying there's a problem. This boss could wreck us. I'm a little worried about this next boss, considering some of the weird tuning we've seen in here so far. So it would definitely drop down to probably... I have way less fun now. I have way less fun. It's the door's closed. Oh, RP. Ooh, let's take a screenshot. Oh, this is what's supposed to happen. Well, bugger me.
Engaging final safeguard.
Have you...
Destroy virulent source.
Ooh. Cool. Okay, so that's a nice fix for the problem that we were having. The big problem we were having in this dungeon is pets, because obviously we come down to there. Whoa. Stitches, get snitches. Let's pop avatar here. When you came down, man's got a bassy voice. Come over here. You instantly pulled the boss, which is a bad idea. Oh, can you guys come anywhere near the tank? That would be really nice. It really would be. Okay, I'll have to run over here then. But you're not making my life easier at all, guys. Let's pop last stand up. Yeah. Honestly, though, for any of you guys doing this fight on live, please just stand on top of the boss. It's so much easier. It's so much easier. Oh, he stunned it. What a jackass. Right, come this way. Come on. So weird tanking with like 200 MS. But I really want to add on to this. Even though I don't rate it as a particularly fun tank anymore, it's still got some really good changes. It has. The baseline shockwave, the avatar, I much sooner have avatar. He says as he remembers to pop it. I much sooner have avatar than recklessness on this warrior. The new talent cell, I mean, Dragon Roar is disappointing. There's no getting away from that. But the other talent choices are fine. Are they super interesting? No, they're not, right? But that's just the nature of things. But the other stuff is actually really cool. Like, the baseline setup of the warrior, it still has that mobility. It still has that big stun down. It still has some nice burst now. One thing for Dragon Roar is I've noticed, and you probably can see down in the damage meter there, they seem to have crushed Prot Warrior DPS. I've run into threat issues with like certain classes which may be overtuned or not. Dragon Roar does provide some sort of defense against that. So you can go in, you can Dragon Roar straight away, you know, and get that quick, snappy aggro. Ravager still needs fixing. Like, people are like, try Ravager, try Ravager. Unfortunately, it does, like, no damage. It does nothing. It's currently broken right now. So they'll fix it at some point, I'm sure. But you can have some really cool setups. So you can have, like, a Dragon Roar, Stormbolt, Ravager, cooldown setup, right? You can have all these extra things to press. Then your global cooldown's really going to start to take the piss, let me tell you. But overall, it's a little less fun now. The decision-making's been moved away. Whether that favors some of you, again, I like decision-making, but I've seen plenty of people, and I just want to say how wonderful you people are who watch these videos, because you know I don't get paid for this on YouTube anymore, and watching you guys who aren't just like, oh, don't like, thumbs down. I mean, that's your opinion, that's fine, but the guys actually having a big discussion, certainly in the Balance Druid one, where we were like, was it too fun? It's a really interesting question. Did we go too far with it? And now we have to rein that back in. I think it's an interesting conversation to have, and seeing you guys have that conversation is awesome. And I'd like to see some conversation here. It's like, well, you know what? I have enough to do without trying to set up these things. Now, I like those things. But if you like a simpler style of tanking, so you can focus more on fights, if that's something you struggle with, then that's probably beneficial to you. One thing I really, really enjoyed looking through the tank ranking comments was the guys who were like, all the negatives you've said are what inspired me to play that class, and now I want to choose, say, a Paladin or a Guardian Druid, because it's just a baseline tank and it does its job. I fully agree with that. I fully agree with that 100%. My job there with any of this stuff is to say, this is why I like it. These are the good points about it. I don't like those points. They're not what work for me, but those points I need to be made because they might be what works for you. And we go from there. So I think that's pretty cool. So if this is something that inspires you love warriors, then there you go. There you go. All right, guys, have a wonderful remainder of your Sunday. It's probably quite late now for most of you. Yeah, it's getting late for me as well. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again. Bye, guys.